Just in, non-believers are about to get mogged. Welcome back, baby dolls. Bitcoin's price has been screaming up higher. I made this post earlier in the day as it crossed above 98,500 American dollars, so close to $100,000. I mean, you could just hit it any moment now, 100,000 American dollars. Bitcoin is starting to cranky G. Shout out to my friend Mr. Durkee Turkey out here. This is bullish for dick with, but yes, it is. Look at all of us out here having some fun. Now, Bitcoin screaming up higher will continue the next phase of the cycle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you Carlin Tark's crypto and the global liquidity fractal that we have here. It has been adjusted and it's done the offset. This is the Bitcoin price shooting up. The red line is Tether's market cap. Soy Boy Tether has been rising up as well. So pretty much all the hallmarks of a traditional crypto bull market is here. It is. But we don't have that emphatic oomph, that zip and that pep, which is major loser Jerome Powell's interest rate cuts. We don't have those yet. But what we do have is global liquidity rising, the money printer stuff. Okay, so they are doing the money printer stuff out here. But you're probably wondering, like, is there a difference between them? Yes. The interest rates, remember, if they want to control inflation, they have to monitor the confidence levels of retailer plebbies. So if they can get super, super cheap home loan mortgage rates, they feel super confident about their house prices and they go and start spending a bit too much in the economy. That's what the US Fed doesn't want. But what they can do is they can do the background money printing, the basing junk, and then they can go and basically, who gets all the currency? All the central bankers, all the bug eaters. They get to control where the currency units go. Now, that's essentially how that works in a nutshell. Is pretty much exactly how I explained it to you. But yeah, there's some nuances about it that doesn't really concern us. But for the most part, if we do continue rising up here, we're going to go straight literally up only 3 months, which means a wonderful pump in Marwai, Juni, Julie, that's 3 months, okay? And I wonder what altcoins are going to do because OTHERS-btc, which I've shown you before, is quite down. It's had 6 red months in a row. And I know we haven't finished this month yet, but this is what it pretty much looks like right here. So 6 red months in a row. It's got quite a lot of ground to make up for. Now remember, friends, I did mention to you it is a Moggers cycle. Here is maximum exposure mogging. Look at this cute kitty cat out here. I think we need to crank it a bit. Right, now what do we do now besides keep holding? That's all we keep pretty much doing, friends. The overwhelming product market fit explosion that we saw in 2024 was literally just JPEG casinos. So it's not like there's an easy, clear path out here. We have some unique narratives, like, we have PulseChain, PDI stuff, super unique, high risk, high reward. But for the most part, everybody's just waiting to see, I guess, what erupts if we get a business cycle confidence rebirth. Now, remember, Moggers will win. Global liquidity is rising despite major loser Jerome Powell holding interest rates, which he recently did with the FOMC. Okay, we have Bitcoin 100K, pretty much near 100K. Normally, we do see the selling may go away stuff. I'm going to give you more data and stuff because, friends, literally, if selling may go away is going to repeat, I mean, you can do what you want. But yeah, this is the month to sell if you really believe that's how it's going to be playing out. But I think because we've had so much sell-offs in the altcoins, I don't want to get rid of super cheap stuff just because I think something may go down. All right. Remember, we started selling off immediately after Donald Pump won, which meant we've been bleeding since December for all risk assets, which I will now show you again here. Look at this chart, OTHERS-btc. Do you see, friends, after Donald Pump won, it was literally Nov 2024. I really thought, oh, we're going to get 6 green in a row after that. Nope, we just got 6 red in a row. Now, the month hasn't finished off, but man, this has just been horrific as well. Just like keeps going down and down and down and down. It's been sad. Can't do anything though, right? Also, if we're here to play the whole year and the whole cycle, even if it was doing good by now, you're waiting for euphoria anyway, Which means you wouldn't be able to get out anyway. But it would be nice. You get the dopamine hit, along the way. Which is very sad. We haven't gotten anything like that. So, most of the rinsing, I think, has been done now because we've had that horrific 5 months of downloading. Didn't think it would happen, but it happened. Okay. Also, the macro conditions are on track. We have lower oil, lower Dicky Boy, and global liquidity rising. Check, check, and check. Literally, the traffic lights are green now. All right, that's why we see Bitcoin marching its way to 100K. Now, we wanted that major loser, always late Jerome Powell. We wanted him to cut rates and basically thrust us up, but there hasn't been any black swan type of event really to justify any of these, okay? Maybe it comes later, who knows? For now, we all look forward to that business ISM, right? So we can finally leave this poopy zone. And we have the Ethereum PEC muscles upgrade, which is coming. And it's going to make things simplified. You'll be able to do approval, one transaction, and be able to do the swaps and everything. Makes it more seamless, also makes it more dangerous. Okay, so that's something as well. And also you had Vitalik, friends. Lord Vitalik came out. He said he's going to mog everyone. Lord Vitalik came out. He literally proclaimed, you know, we're going to make Ethereum L1 faster. I think they have truly, you know, with Ivan and Richard and everyone saying, man, this layer 2 stuff, you guys got vultured. Okay, they're just vultures. The system ain't working. You're going to have to make Ethereum's block space more scarce by making people want to choose to hold ETH. Now, as Bitcoin charges up, friends, 100,000 American dollars, this zone, remember, this is where I guess this could be like that final thrust up before we have a bit of a sideways summer thing before we continue again. That could also be on the cards. And I remember I mentioned this to you in Juicy News, but just want to, something I just remember. In 2017, I went and I checked back when alt season and stuff actually started moving for altcoins. And it is interesting, right? Because here is 2017. This is Bitcoin, yeah? For Bitcoin. I want you to know this. Look, Bitcoin, friends, during this period of time was going sideways like that. And altcoins were going pretty much up. Yeah, so you have January, February, March. So this is 3 months pretty much. Yeah, you have 3 months. You have 1, 2, 3. So 3 months, altcoins are going up and then Bitcoin's going sideways. Okay. Then Bitcoin goes up parabolic for 3 months. Okay, literally goes up for 3 months. And actually, these next 3 months is that altcoin euphoria. So you have 3 months of altcoins going up here. And then you have another 1, 2, 3 months up here. All right, so 3 months sideways and then 3 months of the up. So I found that very interesting. That's pretty much how it moved in 2017. Thing is, though, we had Ethereum literally going monster moonshot. Monster moonshot, which it's not doing right now. But that kind of gives you an idea of what is possible. Like, just because Bitcoin, let's say it goes, it's shooting around the 100 or whatever, and it stays here, it doesn't necessarily mean altcoins have to stop. They could go up. But, you know, we're just, we'll see how the price action goes. Now, something that might impede on our bull market is India versus Pakistan, my friends. India, Pakistan, the war going on, having a bit of a tiff over there, but it makes us all really bite our nails during these uncertain times, asking critical questions like, how long will the war occur? You know, are you going to stop the bull market? Who's going to deliver our Uber Eats now? Something else we noticed as well in the previous Richard Hart video that he just released as well, friends. Richard Hart has lost weight, so he's eating healthy. But if you haven't watched it, a lot of people watch it, you should watch it. Yeah, I've given you the main juice of it. He calls for everyone to go for marketing. There's confidence. A lot of people want to know if he's going to stream again. Remember, he's got Interpol, friends. Interpol means like arrest on site. Okay, so I don't know if you want to stream. You got IP address stuff out here, arrest on site. You know what I mean? Like if he's streaming, you know, what if an authority calls up YouTube and they go, hey, this guy's literally arrest on site. You know, the guy's literally arrest on site and he's live streaming. Give us the address where he is. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he can get swatted. So that's probably what he's waiting for. As well, friends, he kind of implies that he's got more Ethereum than Vitalik. Rumored billionaire. He's right about the layer 2 stuff. PulseChain's looking great. PulseChain's got better technology. It does. The thing, though, of course, compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's always got that story. But, you know, the story can only get you so far. You know what I mean? Like, if you're, like, this will I'll just show you, right? If you're looking at Bitcoin dominance, which everyone is, yeah, everyone's looking at Bitcoin dominance, like, you're like, oh, the story, Bitcoin dominance is going to go up forever. Like, yeah, bro, but at some point, when this thing just starts sinking, what's Satoshi doing for you at that point? Oh, I'm buying Bitcoin because of Satoshi. Do you really think that's going to hold up against literally someone buying dog shit poop Inu, which is up like 800% in a week? You know, it won't hold up toward that type of FOMO in everyone's hearts. For Richard Hart's overall video, I have some comments here that I've made as well, just to clarify and confirm friendship. So I thought the video was 10 out of 10. He covered every single topic he needs to, gives instilled confidence to the community. Cycle 1 hexagons. Right, friends? Cycle 1 hexagons, though, they are still reminiscing of like those old Richard Hart streams because they really want that nostalgia feeling of when he had the green candles pumping and he used to take questions from the audience, which I'll just show you. So it was videos like this. Everyone misses these.
They just don't listen. So instead, hello everybody, how's it going? Richard.
There you go.
We finally are close to it, and people are like, oh, you didn't see this coming. You're like, yeah, I did. Yes, I did see this coming. Now, when will I say I was wrong? When we make a new all-time high. When we make a new all-time high, if we make a new all-time high before we hit 10K, I'm wrong. Bitcoin decided to do something that hasn't done before. Fine. But until Bitcoin decides to do something it hasn't done before, and it's still doing things that rhyme with things it has done in the past, this, in my mind, is a bull trap until we go past 65K. And then.
So back in the day, Timothy Ha, I wonder if you're all a friend. Mr. Cat is here. Okay, not to be confused by Mrs. Cat, his wife. Everyone out here. So that's what it was like. I guess everyone wants that feeling. But, you know, everyone wants more and more. Trust me, man. If Richard was streaming and talking to you in the comments, friends, I'm here 18 hours a day. Do you want to know what 99% of the comments are? Some variation of when moon and why is price sucking right now? That's it. When are we going to... Why is it sucking right now? When are we going up? You know what I mean? I can explain why the price is sucking right now. But then you're like, oh, thank you. Anyway, when moon. That's really, really... When moon. Everything just is leading towards a when moon. All right? Well, instead of when moon, ask yourself this. Wen Mog. Wen Mog. Wen Mog. That's what we've got to ask ourselves. Key takeaways, friends, of his video, right? Richard's got more Ethereum Vitalik. PulseChain's better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Marketing phase is next. Ethereum layer 2. Poop didn't work. PulseChain has valuable stable coins. Bitcoin doesn't. That's why a lot of people are like, did he say stable coins? Could be a stable coin. Super cycle. I've only told you this 15,000 times. Stable coin super cycle seems to be happening. We're bringing in all those reward assets and stuff to the industry. And with that, I'm going to hit it. Okay, now, since the whole crypto industry is in a building phase, there actually isn't that much to discuss. If you notice, even Richard's comments, a lot of it, like 33% is legal stuff. Why? Because that's like new to him. That's like fighting war. The government says one thing, they're always bad, and he's trying to fight. But that's like the new stuff. But that's legal things. You're here, like we're here, like, bro, we want to speculate. You know, we want token go up. You know, that even though that's important, it's not your field or my field, right? But yes, there's not much else to discuss. 2024, we had one overwhelmingly large product market fit, which was JPEG casinos, otherwise known as Pump Fun. And now we have Pump Tires, right? Pump Tires, the Pump Fun clone of PulseChain, is most likely meant for outsiders to come into PulseChain and see some action. Now we patiently wait for Moon. So seeing all that, friends, I can't help but wonder, are we going to get some sort of convergence in this cycle of bull market juice, altcoin juice, and then the UFO juice? I can't help but wonder. I really do. I don't know if you've seen this, friends. This whistleblower leaked from George Knapp and Jeremy Cowbell. Really recommend watching it. He was in the, I think, the Pentagon for like 6 years, this gentle sir, Matthew Brown. Okay, Brownie. So Brownie was in there for like 6 years. And they have like this common server, this super private server that everyone just like shares files and stuff on. And they accidentally put one of their UFO video files on there, and he looked at it, and it was a presentation. I think one of them was like a Tic Tac UFO fit picture, and another one it was funny. America was spying on Russia, who was spying on the UFO, which is kind of funny. And it was a big black triangle UFO. But look at this comment from this that he said. This is interesting. Remember, friends, this guy, he loves America. He loves the Pentagon. You know, he loves freedom and liberty and the American eagle and meat pies and koalas. Okay, so he loves all of that stuff. Look at this quote from him. What I have learned is that we live in a dream, a carefully constructed reality. We make use of a science that is tightly controlled and suppressed and distorted. Whistleblower, bro. Those are heavy words from a guy. I think the guy's still in his 20s. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally going, oh, wow, reality is totally constructed. I was like, dude, that's like, you know, DMT, Joe Rogan, 8 hours into a session type of talk. Not like you're a fresh kid out of the Pentagon. Well, here's themes and stuff, you know? Interesting, he acknowledges, right? Mainstream Neil deGrasse Tyson science. A lot of it is baloney trash. Now, friends, when I say baloney trash, why? It's because it's controlled, bro. It's because you're meant to be scientists, man. You're meant to be scientists, friends. You guys they're meant to be the first ones smoking DMT. I'm just saying that tongue. You know what I mean? Like going out to the forefront, the bleeding edge stuff, but they're not. They call everybody else stupid for even thinking about it. Look, bro, what are you talking about? And by the way, you got a fatal flaw with your science, dude. You assume everything that you are studying has a lower intelligence than you. What a fatal flaw. A very fatal flaw in your hypothesis here, your assumptions. Okay? How can you get something to repeat itself when it's smarter than you? It knows your actions. You can't get it to repeat. It's kind of like you're literally a goldfish in a bowl. Hey, go prove that humans have discovered E equals MC squared. You're literally the goldfish in a little fish bowl. Blub, 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 blub. You can't do anything, right? How come we can get ourselves out of that? Probably because your minds are more open, you know? And it really, friends, it does make me wonder about the medical industry, bro. If they're hiding this stuff, and they've been hiding it for like 100 years, right? I remember I made all my cracker UFO videos. I got more, friends. I got a very juicy cracker UFO video. I got more just highest value content in crypto. That's why you subscribe. Highest value is not even close. And this is literally just fresh off the press, friends. Literally within the past 24 to 48 hours, someone has gone to Reddit and they're from the deep state and they have leaked a lot of UFO stuff. And they've put this big presentation out here about what's going on. And actually, surprisingly, friends, I have a comment here from Ashton Forbes. I saw this document that this came from over a year ago, so I know it's real. This was one of the moments I realized there's a major effort to engineer the technology and humans are not clueless about it. The Tic Tac UFO was probably Cockheed Martin. So, remember, friends, the little Tic Tac UFO, you've seen his famous video? It's this one, Commander Fravor, friends. Commander Fravor, he went onto Joe Rogan. If I type in Commander Fravor, Tic Tac UFO, right? He went on to Joe Blogan. Here he is. And he basically gave his account. This is Commander Fravor, worked in the military, very credible, valid, was in there for like decades, knows everything in and out, doesn't stutter and stuff out here. And he reported on this Tic Tac thing, and it literally, it went from the sky to the sea in literally like instantaneously broke the speed of light, right? But if you're curious, if you're a science dude, like, oh, nothing can break the speed of light. Yeah, doodle face, because it doesn't actually break the speed of light. The physics all holds up. What it's doing is it's manipulating the space-time in front of it, okay? So it's doing some sort of vortexy thing, and it's like it's grabbing the space in front. So the ship is not actually combustion engineering going through. It's literally pulling space. It's like basically you have an invisible hand, you grab space in front, and you just bring it to you. And that's what it's actually doing. It's creating a hole, and it's falling into the hole permanently. That's pretty much how these things are moving. That's why these things fly with these like this belly up and stuff. But this blows my mind, right? You want to know why? Dr. Stephen Greer has been saying that Tic Tac UFO was man-made. He says that wasn't a UFO. He goes, that's our stuff. So when he's on like Joe Blogan, Joseph Rogan, or any of these other ones, that's why, or Jesse Michaels, that's why it's hard for them. They're like, are you sure, bro? Because like you're the cult within the cult now. You know what I mean? Like you're in the UFO cult. Now you're like going deeper. You're like the PDI, the conspiracy, but he's being proved right, man. I had no idea, man. I was like, man, are you sure? Are you sure they're ours? Yeah, man. They're ours. Look at this. Breaking, tic-tac. This is where Ashton even confirms it. I don't have a copy of the document. I saw it privately. I do remember it was like a training manual on gravity manipulation technology. That's actually wild, man. They have that. Wow. So yeah, this is it. This is the tic-tac. See how it's flying, friends? Creating the tic-tac at Mach scale, 1.6, air temperature, etc. So this is it. So there's a big thread. I guess this is it before it gets deleted. I was a private contractor for various Department of Defense agencies. I'm speaking now because this poop has gone too far off the deep end. I will provide some evidence, right? So he goes through a lot of this. He goes, I have a degree in electrical engineering in college. And he comes through. He goes, Jay Stratton is a scummy person. Sean Kirkpatrick is a pawn. He lies through his teeth. These are people I always report, go, these guys are just always lying sacks of shit. They go in front of Congress and they go, look at you government workers. We do not have alien technology. Right? It's kind of funny, actually. It works. Check this out. He goes, there are 2,000 legacy programs working on reverse engineering. Hal Puthoff, remember, friends, I literally made my videos on Hal Puthoff. Yeah, I've got more coming. Hal Puthoff recently said on Joe Rogan that we have more than 10 recovered craft in the USA. The number is in the hundreds at a minimum. Oh, hundreds? Wow. Whoa. Also, Hal Puthoff, remember, friends, he kind of implies as well. So my UFO Tech video here, right? So Hal, friends, in the top right here. Let's see. Welcome back, here you go, my quantum entangled friends out here. So Hal, friends, as well. If I just quickly grab a screenshot where Howley Boo is right here. So Hal, he also, like, he says gently, right? He says, like, you know, maybe the phenomenon, Mr. UFO alien dudes, he thinks what they've done is not what he thinks. This is confirmed. So I never knew this until they learned it off him. They dropped tech ships to America, to China, and to Russia. Yeah? We don't know why. They've just donated stuff to. So he's guessed. They're basically, aliens are like, hey, we got these groups of humans. So what we're going to do is we'll just see who advances the fastest. And then we'll basically take the next phase on them when they're done, when we're ready. Whatever that means. That's the speculation. Okay? It's a speculation on that part. That's also why it made me like, hey, they're going to give us more tech. We can't let the other guys beat us. Is it a space race? You know, it's interesting. Oh, man, this is funny because I haven't read this Reddit thing. Jeremy Cowbell is a useful idiot in many cases. Some of what he releases is accurate, but when he says that us humans cannot replicate or understand any propulsion systems that craft use or whatever nonsense he spews is a blatant lie. I doubt he actually knows the truth, to be fair. I don't believe that he's deliberately lying. Nah, bro, you can't say... Come on, bro. I'm not going to defend the goo. I'm just saying, like, man, you can't... Come on, bro. He's going on to national TV. You know what I mean? Jeremy Cowbell. He's going on national TV... Like, you know what I mean? He's trying not to sound like a full-on kook to these news anchors where he's like, we have the tech, we can all do it. You know what I mean? Like, those people get ostracized. So, like, you can forgive him for saying to our like, he's talking about basic science, bro. He's talking about go to school, okay? When you were in school, what was Neil deGrasse Tyson telling you? That's what they're basically telling you. They're not telling you, hey, we can actually manipulate space-time and gravity. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm getting the feeling these guys are real. Because that's how an insider talks. They're like, Jeremy Cowbell's an idiot. Because, like, only somebody who's so deep into the UFO, the deep state military tech, right? They don't call it UFO, deep state advanced weapons tech. You're so deep, bro. You don't understand, like, literally 8 billion people out there are not in your insiders group. You know that? So, like, we see the fake science that everybody's being taught at school. And then you guys have the advanced stuff. So, like, Jeremy Cowbell's going like, hey, bro, like there's 8 billion people being taught this bullshit, like 300-year-old science, which is how clearly advanced now, which you guys aren't sharing. You get it? So it's kind of like you're giving me more probability that the thing's correct. David Grush is the real deal. I respect them and their efforts. Let me say now, do not ask me about immaculate Constellation, because I know nothing of those. So that was, friends, actually what I read for you earlier, where it's kind of funny. Literally, that's what they're talking about. Immaculate Constellation, where there's there's the government program reverse engineer. I can tell, man, this UFO stuff's going to heat up in this bull market. Interesting. Look what he says at the end. This guy. The closest I've seen anyone in the public domain get close to describing how the tech works is Lieutenant Colonel Tom Bearden and a few others. The tough part of all of this is taking the theory and applying it to a practical experiment. Not many can bridge that divide, but a small genius chunk of engineers and some theoretical physicists have. You want to know who the real high-level gatekeeper of this stuff is? Admiral John Mike McConnell. He currently works at Booz Allen, or at least that was the last I'd heard of his whereabouts. I realize now that being given limited time on this planet makes you think about what should really matter. I want the next generation to have a chance. P.S. The Tic Tech is ours, humans. I worked on certain aspects of it personally. Interesting. So yeah, they actually have, there's an actual, friends, it's kind of funny. If I show you, this is why we believe it's real. There's this is the presentation, and it looks absolutely dog shit. So that's why we believe it's real. Like only a government that like has not updated their systems in like, this is literally Microsoft 2008 PowerPoint stuff where the ink barely works. That's why it looks really, really legit. You know what I mean? And by the way, this thing was made in 2008. It's kind of actually funny I said that. It looks exactly from that era as well. I mean, no surprise. There's only 15,000 pieces of evidence out here. The fabric of society, I wonder how it's going to change. What would I do if I was the government? If I was Donald Trump, I'd be the disclosure president. You know, bro, if you don't do it, the next guy's going to do it. You go down in history. They'll play your video clip. Aliens are real. Quite the aliens are real, mind you. They'll play your clip forever. Right? You'll be like that Winston Churchill moment. You know when they say, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Okay? I don't even know if it was Winston Churchill, whatever it was, FDR. You know what I mean? Like you got the famous presidents, right? Or like Bill Clinton. I did not drink that room temperature orange juice. They literally play that forever. Well, Mr. Pump, because right now, all we've got is saying FIFA coin. Quite the FIFA coin. We got you talking about FIFA coin. You know what I mean? We got to up the game out here. I love this, man. This is going to be so funny. You're going to cook. But here's the thing. It's not up to Trump as well. That's another thing I forgot to tell you. It ain't up to Trump. Right. It's up to them. Kind of funny. Like, friends, in society, 95% of us, we know the government's lying. And I'm not joking, 95%. And of the 5%, it's not that they think the government's telling the truth. It's just that they've never thought about it before. That's the start. I used to be like that. I'm like, I've got no opinion. But when you start looking at it, you're like, oh man, something's going to crack. Okay? I just hope we get to Mog all the non-believers along the way. Bull market's still on, baby. Like, subscribe. Catch you soon.